We had a night of champions last night. How many new champions were crowned and how many retained? And also, when will fans learn the difference and learn to stay in their seats? We're going to talk more about that on the Night of Champions review, powered by Google Hangouts. Hey, Lance, you ready for your hot tag?
Yes!
Because it's time to work.
This is Mustang Mike, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Greetings, YouTube. You have worked your way into another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer. I am the WrestleGamer Double B. Today is Monday, September 21st, 2015. I believe today is the autumn equinox, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right in that?
The first day of fall is Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Okay, because sometimes it kind of varies. Sometimes, like 21st, 22nd, 23rd. But
when we change the clocks and all that.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much soon. Anyway, but anyway, guys and gals, what we're going to be doing today on today's video is talking about Night of Champions from last night. We've got quite a bit to talk about. And joining me on the review, guys and gals, you know him as our resident music mogul over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
Pretty good. You had a black bean burger, so I'm doing good.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Anyway, guys and gals, I got for the kickoff match. Like I said, I really didn't get a chance to see it too much. The only thing I saw was the fact that Stardust used the Queen's Arrow, I think he calls it, on Neville to pick up the win. So I'm guessing possibly now they're going to be running more with the Cosmic Wasteland gimmick, and honestly, it's a gimmick that could fit for both Stardust and the Ascension if WWE Creative decides to pull their heads out of their butts and learn how to write proper storylines. But anyway, to the opening match for Night of Champions, the Intercontinental Championship match, Ryback versus Kevin Owens. This was kind of like the way I thought it was going to be, and I think a lot of people thought it was going to be, Lance, with the fact that Kevin Owens would walk away with the Intercontinental Championship. And honestly, in my personal opinion, Lance, I don't know if you share this opinion or not, but I feel that possibly Kevin Owens could do more with the Intercontinental Championship than Ryback could.
Well, of course. I mean, let's face it. What outside the WWE, what championships has Ryback held?
None that I can think of.
And do I need to remind you what championships Kevin Owens, I almost said Sting there for a second, has held?
Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, he's an NXT champion. I'm trying to think of what other championships he's had. I can't.
Probably PWG Gorilla. He was one of the big names in the Indies. So yeah.
Yeah, I know he had a significant feud with Mark Briscoe in Ring of Honor for the Ring of Honor.
One of them boys, yeah.
And we've been joined by a special guest here from the YouTube channel entitled 5 Wrestling Reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, Curtis Cole is here. Curtis, what's up?
What's up, guys? How are you? I'm Curtis, and we're going to kick it off with Billy again, I guess. You guys the same?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're talking about the Intercontinental Championship match and how we feel that Kevin Owens could definitely do a lot more with the Intercontinental Championship than Ryback could. Do you agree with that assessment, or do you have a different opinion about that?
I actually agree with it 100% because I'm a big Kevin Owens fan. Because he's been there at ROH, he's actually getting a really good push and everything. I can see him having a good, bright future ahead of him, like with the Intercontinental Championship. I think that he can actually get pushed, and maybe he can actually do something with it. Like, I mean, like, he can actually be like a John Cena, defend it each week or maybe or something. Like, I find him doing pretty good though. I can see where he's going. He's doing pretty good. What about you, Billy?
All right, Rusev versus Dolph Ziggler. First off, kudos to the guy who made Ziggler's new gear, especially with Lana, like right there, like ravishing Rick Rude. I mean, like if you want to see a picture of Lana, just look at Ziggler right there, and like just look at that tights. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go any further than that. But yeah, it's like a cross ravishing Rick Rude and Shawn Michaels the way Ziggler came out, and I thought that's an interesting look for Ziggler. But the finish of the match, they would have Summer Rae get involved in it with the fact that Summer Rae would throw her shoe in front of the referee. Ziggler would duck, then the shoe would hit Rusev, and then Ziggler would hit the Zig Zag to pick up the win. And I gotta say, unique finish there, Lance, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but almost predictable because of how badly Rusev was beating him down. Then you knew it was coming. A comeback, almost a Cena-like comeback. Wham, bam, 2 moves, and out.
Curtis, what was your reaction to the new gear of sorts of Dolph Ziggler?
I never saw the new gear last night. I was doing something, but the match. I saw the match was pretty good, but like Mike said, it was just like what's it called? Like a I can't put it in details. Like a match like where let's see. He just basically Rusev just attacked him, beat him up, and then Dolph Ziggler gets the victory right away. I'd give it a 4 like Bret Hart did.
The tag team championship on the line, the New Day taking on Dudley Boyz, and it was kind of figured that the Dudley Boyz wouldn't put the championships on them, but we kind of figured one way or another that it wouldn't be a clean finish, and that's exactly what happened, Lance. It wasn't a clean finish with Xavier Woods interfering at the end of the match.
No, I mean, but at least somebody did get Wood.
Yeah, Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods would end up taking the 3D through the table to end the match. Now, Curtis, in your personal opinion, do you think this angle is over between the New Day and the Dudley Boyz, or do you think they're going to push it towards Survivor Series?
I think they're going to push it towards Survivor Series. Like, that DQ from Xavier Woods, and it led to a table. Like, I could see that becoming Survivor Series, then the Dudleys win the tag team championships right away.
And secondly, well, who murdered Xavier Woods' hair?
I'm gonna go with Miley Cyrus on that one, probably.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we know what Bruce the Barber Beefcake's doing now.
Anyway, the Divas Championship on the line. Nikki Bella taking on Charlotte. Again, I don't know why they decided to make Charlotte take about 80% of the heat in this match. It really didn't make any sense because we know how good Charlotte is. She knows how to carry a really good match, much better than Nikki Bella can, in my personal opinion. But I do like the finish, with Charlotte locking on the figure 8 to make Nikki Bella tap out and win the championship. I know that when we were on the live hangout last night, Lance, Andy was just kind of like all over, like how are you invoking so much emotion when you know the finish? And I think it's properly selling the reaction, and that's what Charlotte can do, and definitely Ric Flair can do it. Whether he's drunk or whether he's sober or he's hit the mini bar a few times. But when you learn how to properly sell a moment, it adds to the emotion of the match. Wouldn't you agree?
True. And to answer your question, why they made Charlotte take it, you kind of almost went there. I'm not sure Nikki would actually be able to properly sell that much of an ass whooping.
Curtis, do you think that the predictability factor in this matchup, because we all kind of figured that as soon as Nikki Bella broke AJ Lee's record that they were going to have her drop the title, do you think that predictability factor was just way too high in this match?
I unfortunately didn't get to see the match, but I heard about it, but it was like, I think Nikki Bella could have kept it for another few weeks or so, or maybe until the next pay-per-view, but why give it up that early? She beats the record, you don't give it up 1 week early, like, it makes no sense, but I don't want to see, I wasn't happy to hear Nikki Bella dropped it, but I wasn't happy to hear Charlotte won it. I was hoping that Sasha Banks, would have had actually a title reign instead of, maybe Charlotte getting the push, or maybe Alicia Fox get the push for once, maybe something like that, but seeing Charlotte win was actually, everyone knew it was going to win, because you hear Cena talking about it, Cena wanting Charlotte to win it and everything, but, yeah.
Okay, now there was a lot of debate, a lot of discussion on just who the mystery third person was going to be for the Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose versus the Wyatt family match. And, when there was discussion about possibly Eric Rowan, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Kane, Matt Kane, and
Ambrose, Baron Corbin, and Virgil.
Virgil, I'm going to toss that right out the window.
He's too busy being lonely.
Yeah, he's too busy being lonely for that one. But yeah, but Chris Jericho, I gotta say, you know, in one instance it kind of fits because Jericho had an angle before with the Wyatt family. I believe earlier in this year he was having an angle with them, and in a sense, including him in that kind of fits. But at the same time, they were putting over this guy to be the guy to kind of neutralize Braun Strowman. And I know a lot of us last night, Lance, during the hangout, we were thinking, how in the blue hell is Chris Jericho going to neutralize Braun Strowman?
Simply, he didn't.
He could have, like, if Roman Reigns was tagged in there, but I think if Roman Reigns was in the match, I think if Chris Jericho didn't tag him in, I think Roman Reigns would have had the victory.
Yeah, but I think there was a specific reason why they did it like that.
They're going to push it out. I think. Sorry for interrupting you, Billy. But I think they're going to push it out to another. TLC. I'd have to go TLC.
Yeah, but I think there's a specific reason, if I can learn how to talk, and I'm a commentator, I should learn how to talk. There's a reason why I believe that they did that. But before we get to that, one of the things that has irked me so many times with wrestling fans today is the insane, idiotic, completely mentally stupid fans who decide to jump the guardrail and attack the talent in the ring. This is an instance that has happened way too many times, in my personal opinion. WWE Security needs to get on their jobs, needs to learn how to crack down on this and prevent stuff like this from happening. This has happened way too many times, in my personal opinion, and I find it insulting, personally insulting, as a wrestling enthusiast, as a commentator, as a YouTuber, and as a fan, to see idiots like that. Like the idiot that went out in the ring and tried to attack Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in the ring. Guys and gals, there is a fine line established between fantasy and reality. And apparently for those idiot fans who jumped the guardrail, Lance, that line is completely blurred.
Yeah, I'm kind of not so sure if this was a work or not, because this is not the first time within recent months, like 2 months, that somebody has jumped the guardrail in a match involving Dean Ambrose.
Just 2 weeks ago, someone at SmackDown Live, or 3 weeks ago, and then there was
Exactly.
Yeah, and there was one last night or so down in Toronto that tried to jump in the rail for some other wrestler. It was in Toronto last night, so.
Yeah, but like I said, when I see those kind of things happening, it kind of infuriates me, because you're supposed to be there to enjoy a show. That's what WWE and professional wrestling is. It's a show. You are not there to be part of the show. You are there to enjoy the show. And
then it happened to Seth Rollins. Some guy came out walking with Seth Rollins too.
Yeah, I remember that one, and that guy looked like a complete idiot, to be honest. But again, when I see that, it just infuriates me. It infuriates me.
Really, that guy was lucky. All I can say is that guy was lucky. Like, you don't get to see that very often, but one guy was lucky though. Even though the guy was probably ass kicked in like court now.
And not only that, I think WWE is prosecuting him, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, on to what we were talking about with the finish of the match. Jericho took the loss, and I believe the reason why they did that, Lance, at first a lot of people were suspecting, it's going to be a Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose heel turn, and they would attack Jericho. Instead, it was the complete opposite. The way it looked to me, it looked like heel Jericho was back.
Possibly.
I mean, did you notice the swagger he had in his walk? It was the heel Jericho walk.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing a lot of events in Ontario, where I'm from. They were doing a lot of events around there. So they had Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens again down here. So Chris Jericho's doing a lot of events, so I think they maybe had a lot of events somewhere near him. maybe they finish that up early and bring him over to, what's it called? Because he was scheduled for live WWE events. I heard about it, so I looked on the what's called WWE live event here, and he's scheduled here for another October or something. But yeah, but he's doing much live events instead of house shows instead of real Monday Night Raw.
But yeah, it was an interesting way they ended the match like that, guys and gals. It's always up to you as to what you think. The United States Championship match: Seth Rollins versus John Cena. And I've said this before, time in and time out. Fans are, and everyone is welcome to have a different opinion about John Cena. Like for me, I respect John Cena as a worker. He's worked hard. He's good on the microphone. He's got a decent moveset, regardless of what people say about the 5 moves. Yeah, as Lance does. But like I said, we're all, this is not a one-sided YouTube channel. I welcome other people's opinions about because it makes for more interesting discussions rather than just hearing people say, "Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you." No, that doesn't make for interesting discussions. It just makes you want to fall asleep. And the interesting discussion is between two people or among people who have different viewpoints on the same subject. So that's why I enjoy hearing what other people have to say, whether they have a difference of opinion or not. I gotta love the fact that at one point Seth Rollins was pointing to the fans and they were all doing the wave.
That was awesome. That was an awesome moment. But Billy, I hope you don't get mad at this, but I was pissed off that Cena won last week. I'm a huge Cena fan. I'm a Rollins fan, but I think Rollins should have carried the title for another few months, like until TLC. That would have been perfect.
I don't know. I don't think I'd agree with that because of the fact that, John Cena was doing more with the United States Championship than anyone ever has in recent times in the WWE. Making it more prevalent, making it more known, having more United States Championship matches, and basically giving some of the younger talent a chance to be featured with him in a match. And think about that. Sami Zayn and the match that he had with Cena was amazing, as well as the match that he had with Neville with the United States Championship. So I think it kind of fits to put the title back on Cena and just leave Rollins with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Because honestly, what was Rollins going to do as a dual champion? Nothing. So I don't think...
Billy, there's been talk already. Let Cena won the title again, and apparently should change over to the old United States Championship. It's been talk already.
And to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing that because the newer United States Championship belt really has just been kind of a slap to the face of the original title, in my personal opinion. And for those of us who grew up with the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars like me and Lance have, and we're accustomed to seeing that WCW United States Championship belt. And by the way, if they put that to the spinner belt, are you referring to the spinner belt, the United States Championship spinner belt?
The Rapper Cena belt.
Oh God, hell no!
No.
If he does that, we riot.
There's been talk about it already.
I hope. No, as much as I respect Cena, I don't like the belt. I really don't. I mean, like the guy.
It's thugonomics.
Well, if you possibly, if it's like somewhat of a tribute to the thugonomics gimmick, and if they kind of bring it back just a little bit, Lance, in your personal opinion, would that appease some of the haters out there?
No.
Because
I'll put it like this. How did that go over when he tried to do just a little bit of it when he went with The Rock? When he just went just a taste of it during the rap battle, didn't bode well for him, did it?
Well, honestly, his was a lot better than The Rock's response. And we all remember Rock's response. It wasn't that good, was it?
Do I need to bust out my guitar and do The Rock's response?
No, please don't.
But hey, John Cena sucks.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, we're all welcome to our own opinions on here. And that's why
I'm quoting the song. I'm quoting his song.
Yeah, I remember that song. And honestly, Lance, if you look at your Skype is online now. That's odd. Anyway, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Sting. There's something that we really need to discuss about this because there's been reports all over Facebook that I've seen so far about Sting suffering a legit injury during this match, and it happened with the turnbuckle powerbomb spot. And apparently they're saying it's something to do with his neck. Lance or Curtis, I don't know if you guys have heard anything or if you saw anything.
Yeah, I saw him hit his neck. I was watching it and I got recorded. I recorded it, and I went back and forth. I went slow mo, and you could tell when he hit his neck, he hit his he hit out the turnbuckle. It either slipped off, I think, or it either came on. But he hit his neck and he fell down and caught his neck. I mean, like, off the turnbuckle. I could tell it's going to be an injury, maybe worse than that.
Lance, could that be the reason why there was a long pause in between finishes? Because remember, after that turnbuckle powerbomb, you know, they had the doctor at ringside just looking over Sting and talking with him for like several minutes before they actually concluded that match. Could that have been the reason?
Yes, because I think that it's actually legit, because if you know, Seth Rollins went from his normal competitor to like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, if we can find out more information about, you know, the legitimacy, because for all we know, this could be a work by WWE. You know, it wouldn't surprise me. But you know, if we can find out more about the legitimacy of the injury, you know, and the extent of it, then we'll definitely put out a video and inform you guys out there as to what exactly was going on. And then the way they would finish it is Sting would attempt the Scorpion Deathlock, and Seth Rollins would immediately counter into the small package, which is kind of like the traditional counter to like the Scorpion or the Sharpshooter. For those of you who don't know, like, what's the Scorpion Deathlock? It's the Sharpshooter.
Billy,
go ahead.
Sting reportedly sustained an injury Sunday night during his WWE World Heavyweight Title match against champion, but he is scheduled. Skipping all that, he's reportedly scheduled tonight for Monday Night Raw.
Now, if he's still scheduled for Monday Night Raw, then I'm thinking it's a work.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. But now we also need to. Sheamus would attempt to cash in on Seth Rollins, but he was stopped by Kane, and not corporate Kane. Masked Kane.
Finally.
And you know, and we were expecting a Kane return. You know, if it wasn't going to be for the Wyatt family match, then it was definitely going to be for to go after Seth Rollins, and that's exactly what happened. He gave him a monster chokeslam and a tombstone piledriver, and Sheamus made the mistake, you know, one more, and obliged by giving one more Sheamus with a chokeslam and pretty much ending Night of Champions like that. So again, really an interesting way, and I'm really surprised to see what they do with it with Kane now. And we could all kind of figure like who's getting the next WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, and if it's not Kane, I'm going to be shocked. But anything, guys and gals, it's time to go into our overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Night of Champions this year. Night of Champions could have been a little bit better in some aspects. There were some points in certain matches, and Lance will attest to it because it happened during the Hangout, where I was just kind of yawning and we're almost kind of falling asleep at some points, and there were some points that were really interesting. So I'm going to say overall I'm going to give it a 3.25 out of 5, and that's being kind of generous in that aspect. Best match of the night, I'm actually gonna give it to Sting and Seth Rollins, because again, the fact that you have Sting, who is a purebred WCW guy, in a match for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. For guys like me and Lance, who have grown up during the Monday Night Wars, who grew up through the Monday Nitros and the Monday Night Raws throughout the 90s, to see Sting in a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match is huge. It is huge. And for a guy who's 56, he's in magnificent condition. He really is. Worst segment of the night is Xavier Woods' hair. Who murdered his hair? I would like to know.
Bruce the Barber Beefcake, I told you.
Well, we need to put out an APB for him and his giant shears. But anyway, Lance, over to you. Your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Night of Champions this year.
Best match, I'll give it to the Intercontinental title match. Worst, I'll give it to, because of the predictability, I'm sorry, but I gotta go to the Divas title.
And there's a saying, when wrestling becomes predictable, it becomes boring. Lance, your overall score?
3.
All right, and Curtis, over to you. Your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Night of Champions.
Worst segment would be Xavier Woods. Best match would have to be Kevin Owens versus Ryback. I was shocked by that, and I liked the match, and I liked it a lot for the Kevin Owens one. But it was a pretty good match overall. But for the ending, worst match, I think Lance said was the Divas match. I think.
Yeah.
Divas match, I wasn't happy with fond of that one. And yeah, I'd give it a rate out of maybe 4.
All right, guys and gals, what do we know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers? Your thoughts on Night of Champions this year? What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Night of Champions this year? We definitely want to know what you guys have to say. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Get to like and comment and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck woman cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants. I go live every Wednesday at 7 with Lance Moss TV and friends, and well, hit me on Twitter, it's at Lance Moss TV.
And our guest for the review today, guys and gals, it's Curtis from 5 Wrestling Reviews. Curtis, what can you tell us about 5 Wrestling Reviews?
We're just a podcast. We're just like Billy, and we're getting better and better by the time we are. We're just fixing some stuff, and I hope to see you guys tune in sometime. We'll be live Saturday, so I hope you guys tune in.
WGS-TV is on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can ask me questions. Links will be provided in the description box below. And as always, guys and gals, there will be 2 videos in the annotations at the end of this one for you guys to check out as well. So with that being said, for the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV and Curtis Cole from 5 Wrestling Reviews, I'm the Wrestle Gamer. Don't leave on a huge round saying we'll see ya at the next Warp Zone.
Coming right back up. How do we know they keep good coming back up as they do going down?
Because I never look on anybody else's walkthrough of a game until after I get